All right, we're back for the actual unboxing now. I've got my handy dandy box cutter. You're probably gonna get a really weird angle. Like I said, I've got my phone on a adjustable arm here, trying to get the whole thing in a good shot. It's down on the floor. Probably should have propped it up, but I'm working with what I got here. All right, let's do this. Alrighty, say hi for the camera, guys. Righty. Don't mind my raggedy look, this is just my comfy clothes. Well, let's get this box open. Hope I'm loud enough for you guys here, or not too loud. Alrighty, let's see. We got blue. What's that mean? Oh. Ooh. Hello. So this is my mystery box. Interesting. No receipt. I can't quite verify in that case. I may have just forgotten the other box. Because that one, my other box had the receipt in it. So, unless it's in here with it, somebody is rattling around a bit, so they may have just used the box to put other things in. Let's see. I do like G stuff. I have several Gs already, and I have the SGR 556 using that split gearbox. Really interesting, really cool design. Once you mess with it once, it's a lot like messing with a gas blowback, the way it separates and comes out of the receiver. I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to this. Alrighty, so it is just the gun. Sorry, the Airsoft replica. I mean, this isn't really a replica of anything. It's one of their customs, but not customs, I'm sorry. One of G&G's iterations of builds. Let's see, is this using a G2 or G3 gearbox? This is just a product showcase. Here's the actual manual. The MCP 556. That is all Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese. I know what Korean looks like, but some of the other ones, I don't mean to be rude or anything. I really don't know sometimes. Alright, so this appears to just be using the G2 gearbox, which is nice because I have an SR30 that also uses the G2, and I have a bad habit of not leaving anything alone. I can't leave anything alone, no matter how new, how nice. So when I got the SR30, I was really surprised, and the SGR 556. Now the SGR, because of its somewhat proprietary nature, I didn't want to start fiddling too much with things, at least not yet, until I run into problems. I think I tried swapping out the motor. The MOSFET programming does all right with it, since it's like pretty much all optical. I was just getting some weird habits with the whole resetting of the gears when you split the gearbox and all that. Aside from that, it ran great. I put a much higher torque, much higher TPA motor in it, see how much snappier it would get. Very snappy, but I ended up putting the stock 25K back in it, and it runs just fine, beautifully. My SR30 also has the 25K Ifrit and has the G2 gearbox. The only things I changed, and this is true for both G&Gs, is the barrel and the bucking to tight bores. I play around with different brands just because I'm curious, and I have a fair bit of stock on hand, and I get bored. Aside from that, I've attached the Perrin ETU++ MOSFET, inline MOSFET. It replaces the G&G inline MOSFET and allows you to further program the ETU and MOSFET. Gives you almost all the standard settings you get with a Perrin V2 or V3 hybrid. Just a lot easier, because that G&G micro switch is still rocking pretty heavy, rocking pretty well. Mixing my words up here. Anyways, we got a nice G&G mid cap. I have noticed the receivers and their magazines are kind of picky. So you can't go wrong with just a standard, sticking with G&G's offerings. You can't go wrong. And, their newer stuff, they've been getting really good quality-wise and reliability, and just, that good G&G polymer. Okay, so now we have the MCP 556. Oh, it's got good weight to it. Oh, and a little dirty. I can't tell if that's pretty sure that's a metal foregrip instead of polymer. Oh yeah, it's way too thin to be polymer. Yeah, that is metal. Nice. But the body, as well as the upper, yeah. Oh yeah. You didn't just see me do that, but I mean, I paid for it, so I can do what I want. Anyways, this is something that always caught my eye as well, but I normally shy away from polymer, majority polymer builds, but some newer replicas coming out from some of these brands have had some very nice high-grade polymer, and I keep hearing how good the polymer is on G&G. Same with KWA, like their polymer, it's gotten very good. Appears as though the rail and receiver lockup would also be proprietary, or at least if you tried to change it out, you run the chance of it looking weird. But originally I thought this was a fully original idea from G&G, and not to say it isn't. Obviously it's got their own flair in that sense. But I was looking at real steel, as they say, H&K firearms the other day, and they have an HK 433 or something along those lines. Uses like the whole gas piston, and it's just got a more ergonomic body, kind of like the culmination of their G36 series and 416 M27 series, kind of just all those technologies combined with a more of a standard AR frame silhouette, and that's what you got. So folding stock, nice stiffness to it. I believe they say they run the batteries through the through the stock here using this protector, which is nice, because when I first started playing and everyone wanted a SCAR or an AK or whatever, it was usually the SCARs. They had the wire going through the stock, and you would have to be very careful when doing this, because I'd seen so many people tear out the wiring, pinch it, just overall destroy the wiring and pretty much take their toy out of commission. Now this, I believe, yep, pulls back, lifts up, adjustable. I might actually end up liking this a lot because it's very well thought out and just very ergonomic. Good weight to it, not too heavy, not too light. Whoopsies. I'm just scooting over more. Simple enough, orange tip, you know, right, US regulations. You win some, you lose some. Other countries, they don't have to have an orange tip. They get it out of the box with a metal flash hider, you know. But they have very strict jewel limitations. Unlike here in the good old US of A, where the moment you can apply for a driver's license, you can go out and buy yourself as many firearms as you want. But you can't drink and you can't smoke. But you can sign up for the military. I mean, you have to wait a year or two. But, yeah. Oh, it does the thing. It locks back. It's ambidextrous. It's a nice, good sound there. I love the side charging handles. I think it's why, even when I was younger, the SCAR and the G36 and the ACR or Masada, whatever you want to call it, was so popular. Like, I just wanted one so bad. It's got that nice, it doesn't, it's a reciprocating handle instead of a non-reciprocating handle where you bring it back and it can go forward. It will stay back until you release the mock bolt. Very good feel on that. It is a mock ambidextrous mag release. Pretty much the same thing as the SGR 556. Honestly, the lower receivers look very, very similar. The SGR just has some these are scalloped more, I guess. Like they continue to step down, while this is just a deep scallop right there for your finger to go. But the selector levers, the release lever, trigger guard is removable, and this one's metal, as opposed to the other 556 where it's one solid piece. You have a different grip. I think I like these more squared off grips better, honestly. That is cut in a bit more than I really care for. It really throws my hand really far forward. It's probably great for smaller hands. Same thing with the other 556, you know. The way this is cut in really allows for all hand sizes to get a very good purchase on it. And you can manipulate the toy very well. Yeah, I think I'm really gonna like this. Great timing as well. As I said, been doing a lot of Friday night games. I've gotten a lot of my other replicas tuned up, fixed up the way I like them, all firing under the jewel limit. Gonna be a lot of fun. I managed to talk a couple of my coworkers into going with me. Well, a coworker and his wife. He's actually really looking forward to it. He almost didn't want to admit it at first, but maybe because Airsoft still seems very obscure to most. He wanted to play Airsoft since he was little, but never really got the chance to. Did the classic Walmart Springer pistol like a lot of us did, then bought maybe like a $20, $30 like AA powered miniature airsoft gun that basically spit the BBs out. You could throw them faster yourself. But then could never really play or had anywhere to play because he grew up in New York City, so that makes a lot of sense. Because even airsoft guns, I believe, are very regulated in New York City. And there's like nowhere to play unless you're willing to drive hours. So yeah, this will definitely be going into that lineup, into the back of my car, basically. They call me Airsoft Dad at the field, so yeah, might run this for a few games, or let someone else run it. You know, that's part of the reason why I bring so many, because I just like to be there to help people. If their gun goes down, they run out of batteries, they need a flashlight or a tracer unit, which you would think, oh, that's pretty common sense for a night game. You'd be surprised. A lot of these kids, understandably, they just want to get out and play airsoft. It's Friday night, you know? So yeah, this will be going into my lineup, coming with me. Very solid, no twists, creaks really, aside from the stock, but that's because I have it lifted up right now. I believe if I pull back more, I can get that open. I don't want to force it too much just yet, since I just got it. All right, well, nice. It packs up nice and compact too. I like it. More to come, guys. Oh, you thought I was gonna do it, didn't you? All right, y'all have fun.